I had done a clip of the Ruttles with a song Neil Innes wrote, and they played it on Saturday Night Live. I first did it in about 76 maybe, and it's a bit I'd written, and it's about an interviewer talking very... Make it for NBC with me, and you'll get a much bigger budget. It was fun. I got Neil. The Holy Grail was the most miserable time. I mean, it was fucking awful. We're up in Scotland. The day before we went filming, the Scottish National Commission of something decided we were not allowed to use their castles, any of them. So we were stuck with one castle called Doon Castle, which we shot from every single bloody which was in private hand. And now it's a tourist trap. You can go there and go into every scene from the Holy Grail. They've got it all set up, which I'm very happy for. I think it's funny because it was unpleasant, and I think uncomfortable is very good for comedy. Not enough money is excellent for comedy. Bring out your dead. I think that was just a cadence I heard. Bring out your dead. You know, boing. Bring out your dead. The Dead Collector. We haven't even had a name. See, a lot of our characters are man number 3, person in queue, man with hair on fire. Cleese had the funniest bit because he's bringing out this man on his shoulder. He says he's not dead. Yes, he is. Oh, no. So it's kind of, again, sort of two people haggling about somebody else who they want to throw on the cart. And I think the only good thing about the Dead Collector is I actually have one of the very few genuine ad-libs in Python. When somebody said, "Who's that then?" I said, "He's a king." I said, "Why?" He said, "He hasn't got shit all over him." And that was a genuine ad-lib. Because we were writers. We don't ad-lib on our fucking films, you know, mate? You do the script. We each got to play a knight. And mine was Sir Robin. And he's just basically a coward. It's kind of fun to play a coward, you know. I think it's quite nice because I wrote that song. Bravely bold Sir Robin went forth from Camelot. And he's very enjoying listening. He was not at all afraid to have his legs hacked off and his bottom burned out. It's like one of those things you're going to just reveal growing unhappiness with the song. Brave Sir Robin ran away. No, Sir Robin had a thing I wrote which is not very good. It's like a three-headed knight, but they're bickering all the time. It didn't make the music good. Oh, yes, this is my favourite. And that scene is all one take. That's why it's funny. Cleese says always, the funniest thing is stupidity. Mike is saying, right, Scott, stay here, and I'll come back in a minute. And mine just is very stupid. Not to leave the room until you or anybody, not anybody else, so he's trying to understand. He's North Country, he's from the Yorkshire, but he can't really understand the instructions just to stay. He's just playing stupid, really, is all it is. And it's delicious fun to play. And Graham, all he's doing is hick. He just does hicks, but he times them so perfectly. It never treads on a laugh, it never treads on a line, and it's how not to upstage people. It's a perfect lesson in it. Nearly departed, which was very quickly departed. Well, I remember very little of this. It was a sitcom. They came to me and said, "Would you play a ghost who haunts this place?" We did it for a bit, and it wasn't very funny. And I said to them, "Look, the only way this would be funny is if this was a black family and they're haunted by this fucking awful English professor, white guy, hanging around. That would be funny." They said, "Well, we can't do that." "Oh, no, we can't do that. It's America." I think that's what was wrong with the script. There wasn't enough conflict. There has to be real conflict to be funny. I think it only lasted about 6, and I think they only broadcast about 3. I'm not good at sitcom. I hate it. I'm no good at it. I've done it twice, and both times it was disastrous. So don't ask me, okay? I won't do it. The Life of Brian came out of an ad-lib I made when a journalist asked me what our next movie was going to be. I said, "Jesus Christ, Lust for Glory." John Cleese said, "I think that's very interesting. Nobody's ever been funny about religion. We read the Dead Sea Scrolls, we studied texts, we studied terrible Hollywood movies. You know, surely this man is the Son of God." And so our movie is a kind of parody of a Hollywood biblical epic. And we realized we couldn't really write about JC because there's nothing you can complain about. A man saying, you know, blessed are the poor, feed and help people. There was something more interesting about exploring what followers of a religion do, both to the religion and to the people they follow, and how unhealthy that becomes. Mr. Cheeky is based on our Sparks, the electric lighting guys. Those are people you want in the trenches. Nothing would get them down. So we wrote this sort of character. Mr. Cheeky's got based on that, you know. He said, crucifixion? He said, no. They said, I could go free and live on an island somewhere.
Jolly good, well, off you go then. Now, I'm actually putting you late.
Crucifixion, really. You ended the film with a song which I did, and I'd done the demo. And it wasn't very good. It was like, some things in life are bad, they can really, it was sung very straight and rather boringly. And I realised that the song should be sung by the character I was playing, because he's been crucified. Now, some things in life are bad, I can really muck you, man. It's much funnier, because it's giving an ironic background to the song. Always look on the bright side of life. Come on. I think this is amazing how prescient Stan, aka Loretta, is, because he's a transgender person appearing suddenly in the life of Brian. I realized that I would have to play it very sincerely, and that he'd have to mean that I want to be a woman. I want to have a baby. It has to be believable. He has to want to have a baby. And he said, well, where are you going to keep the fetus? Are you going to keep it in a box? Where's it going to gestate? Don't you oppress me.
I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb.
It deals with, I think, from 1978. It's very germane, particularly at this moment in time. John Dupre and I, after Spellmark, we adapted the life of Brian as an oratorio. And so we wrote a song called I Want to Be a Girl for Stan, which is very sweet and very tender. I want to be a girl. Mike Nichols, who was very severe about this, would always say to the actors, you must believe in what you're doing, because if you don't believe in it, why would you expect the audience to? And I said, Mike, you're talking about the knights who say knee. And he said, nevertheless, they must believe they are the knights who say knee. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. 6 months of hell under Gilligan. You know, it was a disaster. We drove down from France and they said, oh, we've delayed the shooting 2 weeks. And he said, well, couldn't you have told us?